All right, intro. Thingy majig. Yeah, I need to build an intro. I used to have intros, but I want to make a new one because I never decisive on which one to have. Anyways, been a while since I did commentary and shit. So yeah. Um. So I wasn't sure what kind of topic to put as my little background voice for this one, but I guess the appropriate topic to talk about, yeah, um, will be about how much detail do you even need for a comic book. Um, Surprisingly, not really a lot. uh, Most newbies, especially, get caught up on the whole thing of you might need to draw certain characters with certain details. Basically 100,000 times, which isn't the case for most things. If you're starting out, don't worry about that kind of thing. All my characters in this graphic novel I'm making have pretty simple designs, and they have like 2 to 3 colors tops. There's not many all that. There's not many colors per se, and sure I could just do this black and white, which was how it was originally published. Um, Razor Raptor is a comic I did back when I used to have a webtoons account. I still have it. It's still up. You can still go and read it. I'll put it in the link or something like that. Um, but back when I first made Racer Raptor, it was in black and white with red as indicators of blood and stuff like that, which sounds kind of edgy, I know, uh, which doesn't really match the tone of the comic per se. I remember a comment asking if I were ever gonna put color into you know my story, to which I ended up doing, which obviously ended up taking more time and space because more time and well, yeah, I guess it took a lot more space to upload the comics. Um, but yeah, it takes longer because now I have to worry about how the shading is gonna look because normally when you draw in black and white, all you have to worry about is where the light is hitting and where the shadows are. Plain and simple. You don't have to worry about any other changes in color or anything like that. It's all black and white. That's all you need to worry about. Which I recommend if this is your first time doing comics, black and white is the way to go. It helps set the mood as well, depending on the mood you're trying to go for. So yeah, it really depends on what you want to go for. Uh, but of course, if you're gonna do colors, literally limit the colors. Limit how many colors are there, and trust me, you'll have an easier time like that. Uh, this whole graphic novel I'm making, which is essentially a remake of Racer Raptor, the comic series I used to do on webtoons, um, it was initially gonna be in black and white, but I decided to just color everything essentially. I was even tempted to go back in black and white because it's taken me a while to do this, and part of it, other than procrastinating, is life. Sometimes I get home really tired, and yeah. So, anyways, I decided to color it, and what I did is that all the characters will have these wrinkles and all that kind of stuff, all these complicated details, but they'll have pretty simple colors. At most, maybe two colors in it, which helps a lot. And in terms of shadow, maybe my purples and maybe blues for the shadows and all that kind of stuff. And of course, you have the more dramatic comic book style shadows, which I like to do. My art style is very inspired by old manga and the house style of comic books from like Marvel and DC. So basically, uh, how I use the black dramatic comic book shadows and shit. It is technically a way to cheat because I don't have to worry about so much on how the shadows will look like because part of it is already done in the line art. and I can go into the whole coloring the characters and shit without exactly worrying where everything's going because I already did all of that during my line art. But I do recommend people to essentially, if it's your first time, just go black and white. There's nothing wrong with just going black and white, and I'm pretty sure it's something most would recommend. The other thing people recommend, of course, is that one way to start doing comics because it is a question that a lot of people ask. I've seen a lot of people like, "How did you like? How do I start? What's the easy steps to start?" And there isn't an easy step. Just like drawing in general, there's not really an easy step. Is the step is you just start. You just get started and that's it. Even if the story is garbage, just finish it. Start it. Because let me tell you, my first few comics I did, they were pretty garbage. And Racer Raptor itself, as a stand, as a webtoon, it is not great. It's very cringe. Not to say that this one will be cringe, because it will be very cringe. But in terms of details on a comic book, if if you ever feel like giving a certain page a lot of details, this is a great example right here, which is essentially character reveals. If you're showing off a big character, and it's like the first time we see them and all that. I think Dragon Ball also did this, where if it's like their reveal and all that, they have sometimes either a large page like this one or an entire page for themselves. It shows off the character, the background, sometimes their effect on said background, that kind of thing. And that is a good moment to go all out and show off all the details and all that. But if you're going for like dialogue boxes and all that kind of stuff, you don't really need all that much detail. You really don't. It's it's just the characters talking either way, which is the most boring part of making a comic, in my opinion. It's just dialogue boxes, which is why for a comic like this, there's always going to be a bunch of pages of just silence and just these characters basically interacting with the environment around them and all that kind of stuff. Also, a good technique. I forgot the name of the YouTuber I got this from, but like once I find it, I'll put the link in the description as well. Uh, because for a while I always used the airbrush to shade, which is fine if you know what you're doing, but just grab the selection tool and make some gradients, and that should look great. That should look really good. If I find the dude, I'll put the link in the description of where I got this technique. I'm sure I did a few videos of like, hey, this is how I color things, but um, obviously I don't really watch my own videos, so I might end up doing another one just to make it updated in some ways. And of course, I have different ways to do the more traditional comic book style of shading, with the black dramatic shadows and hatching and all that kind of stuff. I have other ways to do it, which I do in my regular arts that I post on Blue Sky and shit. So I might go into that. Maybe I'll show off the process. I don't know. I'll think about it. This is the 20th page of my graphic novel. Here's hoping I can release it before the end of the year. It was supposed to release this summer, but shit happens. I had a lot on my plate in real life, so uh, obviously mental strain and all that. I couldn't get into it, but hopefully I can release it this year. Hopefully, it's gonna be an itch.io and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, let's hope if one of these days I can make myself an outro and an intro and not have to just awkwardly stop my video. I had an outro and intro, but like they don't feel appropriate anymore. I don't know. They feel I need to make a cleaner one. Shit. Anyways, this is the final bits of it. Bye bye.